Hello Flosstube, it's Valerie at Stitching in the Barn, and today is Thursday. Quite late in April. I think it is the 29th of April. So I'm just squeaking in under the wire. I hope you've all been well. I hope you've done lots of stitching. I am going to talk to you today about what I've been up to and some quilting, some stitching. And first I have to preface it by saying I posted on Instagram right after my last video. I was very proud. I had these lovely pink nails ready for Easter, and pride goeth before fall, because I was out in the barn and it was cold. I had my jacket on and I was rushing because it was tea time, and I thought, ooh, you know, I bet my husband's putting the kettle on. I must scurry inside and get my cup of tea. And I had done some complicated cutting for a quilt I was working on, and now I was down to some really easy stuff, just making little squares, and I had the strips all cut, so I was just like, well, of course, I right off this finger. I haven't taken the nail polish off even since, because it's just been so sore and I didn't want to touch it, but I went right across my nail and took a big hunk of my finger with it. So that was a bit of a shock. I know I was in shock. I happened to have a cloth in my pocket, and I just grabbed it and put it on my finger and raced inside and cleaned it up. You know, of course it was pouring blood and quickly bandaged it up, and it was so sore for weeks. So it did put a little bit of a damper on my stitching and sewing and stuff, but I am very thankful for all the comments that people made, commiserating, and also people suggested I get some of those protective gloves that you can buy when you're using a mandolin slicer in the kitchen, because those klutz gloves just are not available. If they are, they're astronomically expensive, the ones that Fons and Porter sell. The only thing I don't like about this little glove, and it's fine to wear it now because it's not that hot. In summer, it's probably going to be hot, and also it doesn't have any grippies, so I might get some of those little sticky tabs that I know Lori Holt sells some, and other people sell some, that you can put on the bottoms of rulers to make them grippier. I think I'll put that on the fingers of the glove so that, you know, it's not slippery, but I do feel safer when I'm wearing it. And I have cut without it. You know, I'm very careful to keep I think it's my long middle finger, and it just hung off the edge of the ruler and was just in the way as I merrily went slicing along. So I think I got off very easy. I mean, my fingertip is still sore, but I do think I have feeling in it, and I hope my nail's gonna grow back, because I got a little bit off the nail bed. Yeah, this isn't too graphic for you. So I'm hoping that my finger will return to normal, but I am going to take extra care in the future. So that being said, I will tell you, I got a lovely, lovely gift in the mail from Kelly, and thank you so much. She had written to me and said, I know you love Scotland and thistles. Would you like a thistle pattern I have? And I said, oh, thank you. That'd be very nice. Well, I went to the post office box, and not only did I receive this great thistle pattern from the Cricket collection, which I love, she sent it in a project bag with a cute little ribbon and charms. There's a flower on here, and a little one that says wish, and the cutest little Adirondack chair. Makes me feel like summertime. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me get my hands out of the way. Very cute charms on there. And inside, also, little bag with pom-poms in it. I love pom-poms. I think these are darling. I would love to, like, sew these on linen or something. Or I know Under the Woolen Willow makes, puts paper clips on them. Oh, she makes them on wool penny circles, but you could do that with these and make, you know, very cute little things. But I think I'm going to put it on like the front of a, I'll show you later, but I have a thing about linen and fabric, so I'll show you that later. and a thread drop and some lovely stripy thread, and It is because, the black theme, if you've noticed, it's because she had a pattern company, and you can follow her on Instagram under Black Thread Studio, but she sent me one of her original patterns, which I think is so darling. I don't know if you can see that. It's called Rooster Doodle. I'll take it out of the plastic so you can really see it. I just think what talent. It's amazing. And it's a quilt pattern. Look at that. Isn't he something? He's got such character. I love him. So I don't know that she's doing patterns anymore. I don't think she is. But, which is a pity because she's very talented. But thank you so much, Kelly. I just loved everything in there. And you wrote the nicest note and I'm just thrilled. So thank you so much. Black Thread Studio. What does it say here? Quilts, patterns, teaching. So maybe she's still doing some things. She's in Minnesota, but I just loved it. And I will be thrilled to use that, so thank you. Okay, so what I've been working on, quilting and sewing. And I guess I'll show you the quilting stuff first, just to get it out of the way, hold you hostage before I show you stitchy stuff. This is a pattern from, well, everybody seems to have caught the Lori Holt bug, including myself. I mean, I always had the Lori Holt bug, but it's been ramped up to a fevered pitch, I should say. She's just been doing the cutest tutorials, and her fabrics are so cute, and she makes everything look fun and easy and cute, and you just get swept right along. And I was watching Christy Crosshatch Quilts, and I thought, she explained it perfectly, because normally I'm always drawn to prim. I love prim stuff, sewing, decorations for my house. My house is really old. I love all that stuff. But I'm also really drawn to the Lori Holt cheery, what I call feed sack quilt type things. And I was thinking, you know, what is this dichotomy here? What is going on here? And Christy said, it's history. The common thread is history. You know, you look at those Lori Holt feed sack type quilts and you think about your grandmother, and you think about being thrifty and making do with what you have, and you know, putting a bit of brightness in some tough times. And then you look at the prim stuff and you think about all the history of the people, you know, coming to this country in the beginning of the centuries, or God, I'm really blathering. You know, you think about the people coming, and needles were a precious commodity, you know, and they'd wait for the traveling salesman to come by so they could have a needle, because they had to make everything. They had to make all the clothes and bed clothes for their family, and, you know, what they had to mend. And it's just, I love thinking about all that stuff. So anyway, I will show you. I have been working on, it's a quilt pattern from Missouri Star Quilt Company. It's called 4-Patch Star, and I'm using Lori Holt Flea Market Flowers fabric. And so what it is, it's a big star with 16 patch in the center. And I made a few of these. I'm to the point where I can just assemble the stars. Now this one needs to be pressed. Don't look closely. As you notice, I'm holding it far back because I have some of the dreaded duck pleats, as Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop would say. I'm gonna have to go back and correct the duck pleats, but it's just bright and cheery and fun. And the nice thing is, once you've done the stars, you don't have to worry. I mean, you have to match the seams up, but there's no sashing in between. You just put stars next to stars. And it's just fun and bright and cheery, and makes me feel very 1930s. So somehow, you know, it makes me happy. I have a few more lined up, I can assure you, of quilts that I want to do. I've bitten the bug. I'm going to do the Flower SAL. Which one is that? Flea Market Flowers. Like the cross stitch piece, I'm going to try and do the quilt as well. I just love it so much, and it looks so fun. I've done tons of applique, but never Lori's method, so I'm going to try Lori's method, and I'm excited about that. The other quilt, and I actually completed this, is Joanna Figueroa. It's called Pumpkins and Cream. Let me hold it up the right way. And I have this one all ready to go and be quilted because it's finished. I'll stand back here. See? All the different pumpkins. I love it. It's just, I love the colors. It's so cheery. It's fall, it's pumpkins, but it's not traditional sort of colors. Now I'm covered in threads. I'll have to remedy that before I take this to the long arm quilter, but I was tempted to try and quilt that one myself, and then I thought, we'll see. As you know, I'm not very good at that. Or I've told you anyway, not very good at that. So those are those are two of the quilts I've been working on. I'll put it that way. I have a few more, and I never have shown you really works in progress with quilts before. I don't know why. I just focused on the cross stitch stuff, but believe me, I have others in the works. I should do a whip count for my quilts as well as for my stitching. I meant to do a whip count for Mania Prep, but I think in one of my previous videos, maybe 2 videos before, I went through all my whips, and I think I probably told you how many I have, so I didn't revisit it. Not this time anyway. So sewing. I have been working on my Prim Stitch series. I completed number 10. Oh, where's the pattern? I'd like to show you the pattern as well. I probably stuffed it in here somewhere. Let me see, hold on. I can find, yes. Prim Stitch number 10. I got to do a kitty and sunflowers, 2 things that made me smile. I thought he was very cute. So here he is. My little kitty cat and the sunflowers. I thought about changing the color of the star, and then I just left it. I thought, well, I don't have that many of that color. So here it is all together. So I've only got 2 more squares to do, and then that'll be finished. And my plan is, I think I've told you again, I'll tell you again, to probably edge it with some fabric and make a wall hanging with it. There we go. I like it. It's cute, it's prim, it's... Now, normally when I say prim, this is a different type of prim. When I say prim, I mean old and crusty. That's the kind of prim that I usually do. I mean, that's what I'm usually drawn to, the real old and crusty stuff. But this is what I would call like stylized prim, which I think is also very cute, very appealing. Okay, next one is the Serendipity Sal, which is the Make-A-Wish fundraiser that Fat Quarter Shop is doing. They are going to hit their goal, I think, thanks to you all, and the generosity of Moda and Kimberly Jolly and her husband. They are going to reach that goal of $100,000, I do believe. I will show you. I have done the next row because I'm working ahead, but this is as much as has been released and I got done. And this is on navy 18 count Ada. I really like the color, and I thought it made these pop. But Kimberly was talking about this. I know what she means about the 18 count cloth Ada, because if you use one strand, like I'm using DMC, if you use one strand, it doesn't feel like enough coverage, and you use 2, it's quite difficult. It's quite chunky and difficult to pull it through and make your stitches look nice and even. But the result is worth it. I mean, it looks bright, and I like it. So that is They release, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a fundraiser that the Fat Quarter Shop is doing, and they're raising money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation of South and Central Texas. And it's a free pattern. They suggest a donation of $15, I think it is, but you can donate any amount you want. The pattern's there for free either way. You could make a donation to your local charity, but they are really trying to hit this mark of $100,000. This is the pattern. It's based on a quilt designed by Corey Yoder, Coriander Quilts, and she has a fabric line. There was a quilt kit you could get and sew along with the quilt if you want to make the quilt. I don't know if they still have them available. I'm leaving off words today. I don't know what's going on in my brain. But you could find out by looking on the Fat Quarter Shop website. And all the information there about making donations is on the website as well. The fabric line, I think, is called Springbrook, and it's really pretty blues and yellows and grays, and I hope you can see that. All right. I have also been working on, well, you know what? They're doing another Lori Holt stitch along, and it starts the beginning of June and runs through July, and it's the Flea Market Flowers, the one I was talking about that I want to do the quilt as well. I'll show you the pattern. And I love this so much. I really wanted to maybe just do it exactly as shown because it's so cute. It's done on 25 count Lugana Barley, which I think is a Lori Holt fabric. I just think that's gorgeous. And then I thought, you know, I always do it just like the picture, and really I should show something interesting and different. And so I pulled some fabric out that I had thought I was going to do the Little House Needleworks Farmhouse Christmas series on. And I'll show you. It's 28 count natural straw gingham, and looks like this. And I was going to do the Farmhouse Christmas on here, and I had started with the border, just the little white border, and I just wasn't feeling it. And then I had found these little wooden boxes, and my plan was to, instead of doing it all one big piece, I think I've told you before, I have very, very limited wall space in this house. I was going to do them individually and mount them on something, you know, put a little batting and make them slightly puffy, or make little pillows and tuck them in these little boxes, and then stack the boxes, you know, sort of like a pyramid with the different farmhouse scenes in it. I thought that would be cute, and I wouldn't have to have a whole big piece of fabric then to do it. I have a big piece of fabric I'm going to use. It's more like a plain Zweigart natural linen, but I think I'll cut them apart and do the box idea. But I thought, what would the colors look like on this? And I want you all to tell me, do you think, yes, Gladiator lives or Gladiator dies? Because is it icky or is it going to be pretty? So I couldn't resist. I know it doesn't start till June 2nd, but I thought I gotta put some color down on here and see what you think. So there's two of the pinks starting. And here, I'll show you the colors. I haven't put these on my little floss drop yet. I have, they have the cutest little floss keeper. So I need to put my floss on here and use it with this pattern. I just love that. But here is the DMC pack that goes with this. And see what you think. Do you think that's going to be pretty or not? I think it'll work. Yeah, I think even that'll show up on it. This one might get lost a little, but not too badly. So I think I'm going to proceed with this. It's slightly different. I do have some of that barley fabric so that I could jump ship. If I get a little farther along in it and think, oh no, this really isn't working, then I'll change. I'll stop and I'll do it on the barley like the picture shows. But I did want to try something different, you know, just make it a little bit different, make it my own. And I had that big old hunk of fabric that is quite difficult to stitch on, even though it's 28 count. It's very loose weave, and with the gingham effect, it's like, I think the natural gingham, like with the gray and white, is much easier to see, but this gold on gold tone. For some reason, I just find it's difficult to see the, you know, where you're stitching. And also I worry about placement. But with something like just the flowers, I didn't worry so much. Like on the farmhouse one, I was thinking, where do I want the border to hit? And so I deliberately started the border right in the middle of the dark band of color. And I was going to have to be sort of conscious of that, I thought, as I went along. But with just the flowers all over the place, I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that. I'm just going to let it fall where it falls. So I'm excited about that one. We'll see how that goes. What else? I'm just looking because I don't think I have a ton of battery in my thing, but I'll keep going anyway. I did not pick up any of the other ones that I've shown you that I've been working on in the past. I got the bug to do Winter Rose Manor, and I can't remember what occasion I decided. It might have been tax day being postponed or something, and I thought, time for a new start. That might have been my motivation. So I pulled out Winter Rose Manor with Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. I've been wanting to do this one ever since I first saw it at one of those girls who went to the Midwest retreat had it. And I had to wait for it to come out. And then everybody was doing it, so I didn't want to do it then. And now I'm like, okay, you know, here it is spring. It was like 84 degrees here yesterday. I think I'll do Winter Rose Manor. But it's been fun. I've been enjoying it. I'll show you my progress. Fold it so you can see that. Excuse me. So I've got the house done. Excuse me, I'm working on the border. Actually, I started with the border just so I could figure out the house placement. But I realized I did these two roses, or whatever they are, in the wrong color. So I have to take them out. Once again, my die lots for floss, I do not take the time to really look at them and consider how they're going to look. And this bird is actually two different colors. You can tell his tail's a little darker, but his whole breast, his whole chest there is supposed to be a swath of darker color. You can see it in here. And, you know, for once I didn't make a working copy of my pattern, and I'm sort of sad I didn't, because this is getting kind of beat up now, but like you lose that whole effect of him having a different color chest because the two colors were so similar. And it's so similar to the color of the windows. It's so similar to the color of the vine. It's so similar. Like, I was pleased that the trees at least are coming out a different color, but everything is so similar. And the roof, when I was doing the roof, like to me this roof looks darker and it should stand out more as a roof. But I can understand like sunlight falling on a roof. So I started to do it with the called for color, which I believe is Havana. And my Havana was so light. It was like orangey gold, yellow. Let me see. It is Havana. That I mixed in some hickory sticks. I just did it sort of random, put hickory sticks in there because I thought, I don't want it to be like, and now I have a dilemma because the gate is also, the fence and gate are supposed to be Havana as well, and I don't want them to be orangey brown. So I'm going to have to pick through and see if I can find some darker colors of the Havana, darker strands, or I will do the same again, do a blend of hickory sticks, or maybe I should just do the whole thing in hickory sticks. If I can find dark enough Havana, I was thinking this will look more like wood fence. You know how wood can have a sort of goldy orangey as it ages, like it doesn't stay so dark. And there is some variation in the hickory sticks. It's not totally solid dark. So I'm kind of trying to decide, do I do blend of colors? Do I do hickory sticks or do I do Havana? So two things I'm asking your opinions on this time. Should I make the fence dark or light? You know, go with Havana, which is the light, or hickory sticks, which is the dark. And do you like this for Flea Market Flowers? So you have some homework this time. Um, I got some haul. And in my defense, I will say this is haul that I've been accumulating. It's not all been this month. I guess I forgot to show you, or I neglected to show you some haul from before. Mostly it's been fabric. So mostly I stuck to my self-imposed rule of no patterns this year. Or I said I would buy Brenda Gervais. I said I would buy Blackbird. And if I saw other things that I really loved, I would get them. So I did give myself an out. But the first thing I wanted to show you was some little tea mug rugs that I got from an Etsy store, EllieBugMakes. And these I thought were so cute. And I will take the little tag off so you can really see. Aren't they darling? And they smell really good. She's put something in there, lavender or something, I think. They smell delicious. But she's got some Liberty fabric and this darling fabric. I forget whose line this is. I almost bought some of this because it's so cute. It's a new line that's come out. It's got scenes of London on there. It's got the London Eye and I don't know what else is on there. Anyway, I think that's London. And then she's got the teacup, and the little British flag is the tea bag. Isn't that cute? Can you see that? And I think I've told you before, there's a style of embroidery that I love. Poppy Trevory is her name, and she's in Cornwall in the UK. And she does whimsical cloth embroidery by sewing machine on linen. You have to look her up. I'll try and put a link below. Let me write that down because I always say I'll put a link and then I forget. Poppy Trevory. I actually got to meet her one time. I was on I think I've told this story before, but I was helping my friend who has a little shop in Skippack, Pennsylvania. It's called the Artisan's Nest. And we would go to New York on these buying trips, and you go to the huge Jacob Javits Center where we would always head straight for handmade because that's the style of her store and that's what we both love. And we were supposed to be looking for lamps or so, I forget what she wanted us to look at. I'm like, Poppy Trevory! Because I knew her work from my British magazines that I loved. So I'm like, can you excuse me for this? She said, of course, go over. So I went over and totally fangirled poor Poppy. I was like, I love your things. Of course, we're not buying any for the shop because that's not what she sells, but I personally love them. You know, it's just embarrassing. I embarrassed myself, I'm sure, but what else is new? That's what I tell my children. It's my job to embarrass you. Get over it. So, back to what I was going to say earlier. I have a thing for linen with Liberty. I just love the sort of natural, raw, rough with the very delicate floral. I just love that. I want to make a whole bunch of book covers and mats and tea cozies, and I guess it's another side of me. I like prim. I like, I'm all over the place, as you know. I like prim. I like bright and cheery, and I also love delicate English floral. So history, history, history. That's going to be my excuse from now on. Thank you, Christy. So anyway, I thought these were so cute, and it appeals totally to that aesthetic of the Liberty with other fabric behind, or you could do like Liberty on linen or something. You know what I mean? I just love that. I want to create some things like that. But if you look at Poppy Trevory stuff, she will take linen, like a rough background, and then put fabric like a little dog or something. And then with her sewing machine, she will add in the eyes and the features and do the outlining in black thread. So it's obvious that it's sewn on. But it has a really wonderful, whimsical appeal. I love it. So I'll put that link and you can go check it out and see what you think. More homework. You can tell me if you like Poppy Trevory's things or not. And I also was lucky enough to snag, if you follow Stitch Folk on Instagram, she is making these fabulous bags and floss keepers and all kinds of things, but you have to be quick because she will post on Instagram, I'm going to have a sale Friday at, 7 p.m. or something. And if you forget or you don't set an alarm or whatever, and the first time I totally was ready. Like I was logged into Etsy. I think it's on Etsy. She has a shop, Stitch Folk. I was logged in. I had my fingers ready. The things went up. And the thing that's so frustrating is that you don't even have time to scroll. Like if you take the time to scroll, which is what I did, I said, oh, I love this one. But had a quick flip through to make sure that was the one I wanted. Put it in my cart. By the time I got the checkout accomplished, they said, sorry, it's gone. I was like, but I had it in my cart. It was the very first thing I saw. I put it right in my cart right at 7 o'clock. I took 1 second to, log in and I should have had, I don't know, I guess I was paying with PayPal and I had to log into PayPal or something as well. So gone, lost it, missed out. So I was like, oh. So the next time I forget, I saw something, I just bought it. I just didn't wait to scroll through. I'm like, I love this, I'm buying this. And I was so happy because my husband and I got to do part of the Tour de Mont Blanc hike a couple years ago. And we started in Italy, and you walk from Italy through the Alps into France, and we ended up in Switzerland. And it was the trip of a lifetime. I just loved it. And I did not think I was a big hiker. I mean, I'm not a big hiker, but we practiced. We walked and walked and walked before we went. I never did big, huge hills. I never did all-day walking or anything. We just would make sure we walked every day. And there's a lake near our house, and we would walk around the lake, which takes a couple hours. And I think it's probably only 6 miles, but I did that 3 times the summer before we went, and I could do it. I could do the hiking in the Tour de Mont Blanc. Of course, there were elderly Europeans sprinting past me, and this one German couple we were chatting to, and he said, oh, this is a special trip for us. My wife's just had both hips replaced or whatever. So we thought we'd celebrate. I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, I'm huffing my way up the hill, but I made it. Speed is not always the required thing. Anyway, before we started our trip, we met our friends who we were doing this with in Chamonix in France and had the most wonderful time. We spent about 2-3 days there getting acclimated to the altitude, and then we set off on our hike from Chamonix, and look what I got. Chamonix Mont Blanc. And these are so lovely, and this is this linen, the banded linen. And I think French General put these tourism patches out. And so this clever girl on Stitch Folk, I've forgotten her name, excuse me, I think it's Barrie, is making these. And you open it up, it's got a magnet here and here, so it stays closed. But also you can put a needle on your magnet. It's got pockets here. It's got a little felted thing to stick your needles there if you want extra needles or something. And this all is, that softy stuff so that your threads will stick. And somebody asked, how do you use it? Well, if I have a big hunk of weeks or something and I pull a thread out and I'm using the thread, and then I've got quite a long strand left, and I know the color is going to come up again soon, but I'm not going to use it right now. I roll it up and I just slap it on here and have this with me when I'm stitching, and then when it's time to use that color again, I don't have to get out the big ring of floss and take it off and pull a strand and blah blah blah. I've got it right there, so I love it, and it's I'm so happy I got it. You gotta be quick. So I also have been amassing a nice pile of fabric. I did say I was going to allow myself to get some fabric, and I'm trying to get fabric for different big projects. Excuse me, I have to sniff my fabric. Somebody else does that. Maybe it's even Kitten Stitcher, but this smells delicious. I got this from Kitten Stitcher. This is 40 count old mushroom, and forgive me, I forget the manufacturer, but I loved it, and I got this to do a big project on. I even thought maybe one of the Uffendels or something, but I probably should have gotten 2 pieces because I'd like them to be similar since they were sisters. Similar if not the same, but anyway, that's that one. And don't you love the tags Kitten Stitcher's been putting on if you get fabric from her? This is 36 count hot cocoa. And I got a smaller piece of this. Ooh, that smells good. I think I'd be high if I were Kitten Stitcher all the time sniffing fabric. It was funny, I watched her latest video and she said she needs to hire a helper because her son's moving away. And she said, I can't have any one of you people working for me because I don't want somebody who's going to be like constantly distracted, like, ooh, isn't this pretty? Ooh, look at this. You know, she wants somebody who's not a cross stitcher. Which is funny. And this is 40 count Winter Brew, which I love. That one I know. I got a big piece of that. Yum. Okay. So that was from Kitten Stitcher. Because I have some big old projects that I need to get going on. And you know, traditionally I've bought smaller pieces of fabric. This fabric I got from an Etsy shop called, maybe it's a real shop, Stitch Folk Shop. Wait a minute. No, wrong. That was for my Stitch Folk is Barrie. I was right. That was this. So forgive me, whoever I got this fabric from. I've forgotten. It's been a long time. So, and I did have the paper somewhere. I've got the paper. It tells me what they are, because they did not come labeled, which is a little bit annoying. But there's Weigart based, and they're pretty. That's all that I know right now. Darn, I know I have the. Oh, maybe this is it. All right, it was from the Cottage Needle, which is in Oregon, and one piece is Winter Brew, 40 count, R&R, and the other is Vintage Country Mocha, and they're both the same size, but I don't know which is. Oh, I do know which is which because I got a piece of Winter Brew from Kitten Stitcher. So, now I have 2 pieces of Winter Brew, so I could do Anne and her sister. Forgotten her name, Uffendel. Is it Elizabeth Uffendel? Anne and Mariah. I don't know what her name is. We'll call her that today. So I have matchy matchy. I could do matchy matchy if I want. All right. Then, lest you think I was behaving myself, I did get some patterns. I got Souvenirs of Summer, the re-release from Blackbird Designs. I looked through my stash. For once, I looked in my stash before I ordered it, and I did not have this. So I'm very happy to have this. Love this one. Among others. So that was one I ordered. I got from Crazy Annie, I think. This I got from Dying to Stitch, which delights me because they will kit it up for me, which is the thrill. Caroline Amelia Trowell with I Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. Thrilled to have that. This was the Quaint Country Ladies Club piece, Pineberry Lane, that came also from Dying to Stitch. Love that. And Kim Deal, you know I love Kim Deal, the quilt designer and fabric designer, issued a new Simple Whatnots book. Now this may have all the patterns, because I'm in the Simple Whatnot kit from Fat Quarter Shop. So I get kits to make little mini quilts every month. Ask me how far behind I am. And so I'm not certain whether these are the same patterns that I have or if they're different ones. I'm recognizing some, I think. So we'll see. But anyway, I collect all her books, so I'm very happy to have this. They are absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, 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 beautiful book with beautiful patterns in them. Love her sense of color and style. And then the final thing to show you. I did not know that Not Forgotten Farm was having a sale. I don't know how it popped up, but Lord help me, it popped up on Etsy that she was having a big sale. And I saw some patterns there I had never seen before. Justification for getting them. The first one I absolutely had to have was Bucks County, Pennsylvania Pillow. I'll take it out of the bag so you can see it. As you know, I live in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, so I'm like, well, this is a no-brainer. Have to have this. Sweet little pattern. I'm just looking to make sure that my battery hasn't died yet. She also had Lancaster County sampler, had to have that. And then a whole bunch more. A lesson in cross stitch. My linen is my soil, my needle is my plow, my threads are my seeds, and my words I do sow. Spools of my thread. Very cute. Reminds me of that bobbin along pattern that's been released recently that I love. Tomato season. Had to have that. Jack's Jig. Little pumpkin guy. Oh, here it is. Bobbin along. So those I thought would be really cute little companion pair. Brown Egg Farm, have loved this forever. Thought, oh, I might as well get it while I'm getting these and they're on sale. Spring Farmhouse. Love that big yellow house. And I thought I had this one, but I couldn't find it, so I ordered it again. If I have two, I'll do a giveaway. But Halloween Queen. She'll go with Reverend Squash Bottom when I finish him. So that is my haul. And it is over, you know, several months worth. See how I make myself feel better. My plans for Mania. I am going to work on whips. It's going to be a whip mania for me. I think I have about 40. I should have pulled them out and decided which ones I was going to do so I could show you, but I'll do that in the beginning of May. I'm hoping to, I say this every month, hoping to film at least twice a month. Got lots going on. Yesterday I spent all day pouring sweat. I know Carol says she doesn't sweat. She glistens or she glows or something. I sweated. I sweat. I don't know what the past tense of sweat is. Anyway, I was hot. I was outside planting. I had bought a bunch of plants. And there's a place I like to go, and the trick is you have to go before Mother's Day or everything's gone. Especially the big, nice hanging baskets. Forget finding any of those if you don't go in time. But you have to wait till it's warm enough and they've put everything out. So I went along last week because the weather had suddenly warmed up, and it is... they had a lot of stuff out. They didn't have everything out, but they had a lot of stuff out. So I got a lot of stuff, and I then had to plant it. So I planted a bunch of stuff yesterday. Now today it's cooler and little drizzly rain, so that's actually ideal for the plants to get settled in their pots. But I bought a bunch of vegetables, which we haven't planted. We're supposed to be going away this weekend, so I'm like, oops, we better get those in the ground. So I'm busy. My daughter comes home in about 3 weeks, I think. So we have to go out to Ohio and collect her. Very exciting. My son, who lives in California, is going to move to Pittsburgh in July, but we're planning a trip. His brother and sister and dad are going to go out and spend time with him, and then his dad's going to drive across country with him. So that's very exciting, and I have to get ready for them because, of course, I used his room as a big storage room. And he's going to be home for about 2 weeks. Sorry. He's going to be home for about 2 weeks before he actually moves out to Pittsburgh. So I got all that to get ready. But even so, I'm going to try and film a little more than I have been. And so if I film early enough in May, I can just show you what I've picked to be my mania projects. So that's my plan. I think I'll probably work on whatever I pick. I'll work on it for a couple days so I really get quite a bit of meat done on it. I might have to force myself to push quilting to the side a little bit just so I can get more done in Mania, because I would really like to finish up some of these whips if possible. I could be cagey and pick the whips that are closest to being finished. That might be a good strategy. I might do that just so I have some success at the end of the month. But we'll see, whatever I feel like working on. And one other thing about plans, you know, this weekend is the first weekend in May, so Brenda and Laura, Brenda, Sampler Stitcher, and Laura, the Serial Starter, it was actually somebody else's idea first, but they have publicized someone's idea of having Blackbird Weekend. So at some point in the weekend, try and work on a Blackbird project and post it to BBD SAL, Blackbird Designs Sal, on Instagram, and everybody can see what you've decided to work on and your progress. And I pulled out one that I had kitted ages ago and never started. And I thought, why not go big? Merrily, merrily, we welcome spring. And we're still kind of having spring weather here. Like, our dogwoods are just coming out. We're a little behind. I see Donna Ray Barrow post these lovely garden photos in Virginia, but we're a little behind that. But we definitely are spring, and we've had a couple days that certainly felt like summer. But I think the temps are going to drop again. I should have shut my phone off. Sorry for the doo-doo-doo-doo. We are going to drop a little bit into the 50s, 60s range again. No, 60s, I think. Having been 80, being in the 60s is going to feel cold, but at nighttime, it's okay for the plants. It's not dropping down to freezing anyway. So we've got red buds out, and we still have, my primroses are still out, and baby's breath, and forsythia, and the azaleas are coming. They're not fully out yet, but they're coming. What else did I notice? The daffodils are all finished. You know, it's like that transitional time, spring into summer. So merrily, merrily, we welcome spring. And I'm going to do that on the called for, which was 36 count oak, and I think this is a picture of this plus. So I think that'll be pretty. And here are the threads. I do have them here. Oh, this is cute. I don't often have this, but I have this cute little matching set. This is made by Mama Joan, and I've got the little bag that goes with the project bag. So that's pretty. I think that's going to be very pretty. I'm excited. Look at the colors. Just seeing the colors makes me excited. And I'm hopeful that my dye lots won't all, like all the browns won't look the same, all the greens won't look the same. I should check that first, but I never do. I'm really bad too, because sometimes if you read, I know like in Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread patterns, if you actually took the time to look through the pattern and read it ahead of time, she'll say things like, use the dark end of the pomegranate strand or something. I never take the time to read that stuff. I'm too impatient. I have this new project. I want to just get going, get my, you know, gotta be doing it. And so I always miss those instructions. Oops. Sorry, Brenda. We had some giveaways last time. So I'm going to pause you. I may have to plug myself in. I'm going to pause you, pull some winners, and then I'll come back. I'm back. I did the random YouTube comment generator thing on my phone, and here are the winners. Let's grab the prizes. The first one was graceful. You had to use words graceful, and you would get the graceful gray fabric. And that winner is Lorraine Bergstrom. Lorraine Bergstrom. Lorraine Bergstrom. So if you will contact me, I will link my email below, and just send me an email or direct message me on Instagram. It's Stitching at the Barn on Instagram. I would be happy to pop this in the mail to you. And the next one was Antique, which is the Antique White Ada. And that goes to Carol Pelletier. P-E-L-L-E-T-I-E-R. Carol. And congratulations. And the next one was Homegrown, and that goes to Jackie Schmid, S-C-H-M-I-D, and she spells Jackie J-A-C-K-Y. So if that's you, you know it's you. And same thing, email me or direct message me, and I will get this in the mail to you. Last one was the most popular. It was the red LW 1884 pattern by Leela. Somebody wrote to me and said that they met her, or they know for sure that you are supposed to say Leela. You know how I'd always say Leela, Lila, Leela? And I wasn't sure why. And I think it was because Carolyn, who owned Just Cross Stitch, who knows Leela, oops, sorry, used to say Leela. And I never asked her, and I should have. And I think that's maybe how it's meant to be pronounced. But anyway, gorgeous patterns. That goes to Sandra Moore. So Sandra, congratulations. And I'd be happy to get this in the mail to you. Just contact me. I will try and go through and put a comment on your comment, but I can't guarantee it. I just hope that you'll hear your name and contact me. Final thing is giveaway for next week. I don't know if you've seen Fat Quarter Shop has launched a new pattern called Sail Away, but it's a mystery pattern, so I can't tell you what it is, but I will tell you, I think the theme is nautical. That's pretty certain. And if you would like to stitch that, I will give away the called for fabric and floss. And I'm trying to think what you should say in your comment. Something about sail. Sail. S-A-I-L. Sail. Like sailing a ship. If I pick you, then I will mail these to you. It's going to be cute. The colors are great. It looks summery, patriotic, perfect for somebody with a beach house. And I thought that'd be fun. Because we are thinking ahead to summer now, I do believe. So in your comments, don't say giveaway, don't say prize, don't say contest. Just use the word sail. You can even just write sail, S-A-I-L, and the comment generator will find you that way. So, happy end of April, everybody. Happy May coming. You know the thing you're supposed to do on the 1st of May, you go up to the nearest hill and you take the dew from the grass and you put it on your face and you'll have beauty all month. So I wish you all beauty all month and good health and good stitching. And I hope I will see you soon. I know I'm going to be a busy little bee. You know, when summer comes around here, there's tons of gardening and all that kind of stuff to do. And as I said, kids coming home and getting ready for kids coming home and going and fetching kids and moving children and, you know, but that's all good. It's all fun and good. And so I hope you get lots of stitching done. I hope I get lots of stitching done. And until next time, I wish you all good things. Bye.